goal. That is a dream goal.
They found it. They finally found the goal they were looking for.
What a finish that is. Do not scratch your eyes. This is really happening. Hello everyone, welcome to the Gaming Frame live stream. I'm Josh Pratt with Joshua, a joke crew behind the camera. And we're at Met Oval this evening for a potentially decisive night in the League for Clubs North East North playoff race. It's Met Oval who start the evening in second place, taking on Excelsior, who are in third place, just 2 points behind them and 2 games remaining in the season. If we pull up the table, the maths is pretty simple. If Met Oval win, they are in. Once again, the national champions will return to the postseason. If they draw, they will be close, but they would need a point against Susa on the final day, which is going to be the 11th of July, to guarantee making the playoffs. But if Excelsior can win this evening, the whole script is flipped. And what's really worth noting is Excelsior's final game is against Brooklyn City FC, who are winless in the North Conference, though did win overall in the Northeast, the bigger standings. But you certainly back Excelsior to win on the final day. So this really is a cup final in the season for both these teams looking to make the postseason. Kingston have already won the division as they have their head-to-head with Met Oval. It's been a sensational few days for Kingston. They beat Met Oval and 4-1 upstate, and then 3 days later they came to St John's and scored late to defeat Excelsior. So they are the League for Clubs North East North champions, and they will be the host of the North playoffs. It's going to be either Met Oval or Excelsior who will meet them. Susa are technically in it, but it would take just about a mathematical miracle for them to have any chance. So really it is just down to these two tonight. And anyone who's been anywhere in the East Coast this weekend, or this today even, excuse me, knows it has been an absolute scorcher. We're sitting at about 100 degrees. It's slightly cooled off to maybe 95, 96. The very wise decision was made to pull the kickoff back on this game from 7 p.m. and that is going to afford the players shade for almost the entirety of the match, just a small portion of the pitch left in the sun. In terms of stakes for this evening, it's a red hot fixture. Met Oval and Excelsior walk out. So we're in the tail end of the regular season. Met Oval are going to be wearing the white, Excelsior in the dark blue. And Met Oval coming off a very good win against Real Central, 7-1 victory on the weekend, which is a good cure from the hangover of Kingston defeating them. For Excelsior, they've had Met Oval and Kingston Stockade back-to-back, and they've lost both those games 2-1 by very narrow margins, which will make it even more painful for them. They really could have swung either way those games. Met Oval took the lead in the first half when the teams last met. Quick fire goals around the 20-minute mark. Predators pulled one back for Excelsior, and then Barone clattered the post with about 15 minutes left. Christo Dulau made some great saves as well for Met Oval, who managed to hold on to the win. And of course Kingston Stockade striking very, very late against Excelsior, again at St John's, to leave Excelsior confounded again and secure the league title for themselves. And guys, remind you, today's broadcast is sponsored by Umbro. You can head to umbroteam.com to start designing your team kit for free now. Produced by Umbro, designed and worn by you. You might hear me occasionally take a swig out of my ice bottle. Even commentators need hydration on a hot day. Honestly, don't know how these players are going to do it, but they're all in tip-top condition. We have our predicted starting lineups for Met Oval. It's going to be the 3-4-3. Once again, that Coach Berklow generally favours. Fafman in goal. Van der Heide is going to be the centre-back. So Retz to the left centre-back, Posada the right centre-back. The wing-backs are going to be Nelson Reynoso on the right side, TJ Bernard on the left. Those two have been in that position almost the entire season. Mana and Kasia, once again, the midfield pair. Mana scoring Met Oval's second against Excelsior in the last meeting. And then the front three, Chris Sullivan on the left, Carlo Brown, who also scored against Excelsior in the centre-forward position, and Balti Saunders for a second appearance of the season. Fresh off of scoring on the weekend against Real Central New Jersey, will be on the right flank. Saunders was Met Oval's top scorer last year. And he made his mark very quickly in the weekend, scored Met Oval's first goal. About 30-minute mark of returning. For Excelsior, it's Kofe in goal, Matteo Bonner and Santi the back three. And interestingly, they've gone for the 4-3-3 as well, Excelsior, perhaps to counter Met Oval. Gordon and Kepetanovic, who are going to be the centre midfielders. Guggen and Hots, the wingers. Giuseppe Barone, the left forward. Prieditis, the Latvian, the centre forwards. And here's a big signing for Excelsior. Elmedi Yousefi on the right wing. The Moroccan has got very good credentials indeed. Had a spell playing professionally. And we've seen a lot of him playing for the Greek Americans in the American Premier Soccer League, which is a fall to spring league. Elmedi, one of the top scorers in the division, scoring 16 goals. Very, very tricky 1v1 player. And it is a tight field at the Oval. Definitely increases the tempo of play, especially the narrow width. Met Oval have always found comfort playing in these tight spaces. And I almost like it more if teams press them, especially when they're trying to play out the back, because they are comfortable with the intricate passes, even if they're in 18-yard box, and they will often break the lines when there is a high press and very quickly burst down the other end, win numbers. This is only the second meeting between the clubs. Of course, Excelsior just starting out as a men's team, and Met Oval returning to men's football in 2025. And making quite a splash. Here's someone who might make a splash here. Elmer Hedi Yousefi put that one into orbit. Decent early chance for him. A bit of indecision and miscommunication among the back three. Driven up by Fafman, headed back where it came from by Kapetanovic. Bernard. Saunders. And you know, it's actually, we've got Zaretsa playing on the left centre-back position, and Posada. Oh, Zaretsa even, excuse me, on the right centre-back position, and Posada on the left centre-back position. Barone. So unfortunate. Late on in the last meeting between these sides, let a bullet fly, which clattered off the post. Kofe. Bonner, clever touch and then helped on. Well played out by Excelsior there. Really well played out. Mana with the interception. Hots will toss in. Predator sets back. Predator back to Hots. Good covering by Posada. Predator certainly a danger man. Metovo will have to watch, and they know it. He scored an acrobatic goal on the stroke of half-time at St John's. The Latvian got 8 goals in 21 games in his freshman year at Bridgeport and has 4 goals in this League for Club season. Zaretsa sprays it to TJ Bernard. That left foot of his has conjured up some beautiful crosses, and that's clever footwork by Bernard. This time the delivery lacking though for a Metovo skipper. Cannoned off of the head of Kasia, who's not a usual goal scorer historically, but has picked up 2 goals at home. Kasia scored again on the weekend. Manna. Brown. Saunders. Bernard, crossfield towards Reynoso, who stepped on the ball. He'll get it back though. Saunders again. Couldn't thread it between the defenders. And Guggen will look to send it down the channel for Predatis. Not a good pass. Reynoso to Brown. Saunders does really well to hold it onto it. Balti Saunders. Chris Sullivan driving forwards. Kasia tried to return it to him. Holtz tracks back, clears it out for a throw-in. It's been a decent start by Metovo. Kasia. I think it's fair to say Metovo, notwithstanding the excellent win this weekend, but at times have not looked at their most fluid best, where they had so consistently in the national championship winning season. As that's a clever ball, Reynoso and Saunders, or excuse me, Carlo Brown will tap it in. Metovo unlock Excelsior's defence early. A beautiful interchange. Reynoso serving Carlo Brown his dinner on a platter. And he scores in back-to-back games at the Oval. Super football. Excelsior's lines totally penetrated then. Predatis trying to come down the other end. A marked difference to how Metovo started on Sunday, where they conceded via a penalty against Rio Centro after 3 minutes. This time they lead after 6. Predatis. Hots looping towards the far post. Guggen got a header on it, but very comfortable save for Fafman. Kasia. Balti Saunders. Sharpness and crispness to Metovo's play in these opening exchanges, and already with the goal. Saunders. And this is not a day you want to be chasing the ball either, that's for sure, with the temperature. Even now the sun has gone down, at least in the field. We're sitting at about 90 degrees. Feels a little like being in the backdraft of a hairdryer. Searching ball forwards by Zaretsa. McHale. Posada covers the space well. Well played out of a difficult situation by Met Oval. Sullivan. Uncharacteristically loose by the centre forwards. Reynoso. There's a bit of space for Balti Saunders on the right side. Saunders curls it in, not quite enough height on it. And Cash is going to concede the free kick. Tip down Barone. And the referee's going to be pedantic about the positioning of the free kick. Bonner. Well, straight to the feet of Posada, but he didn't do particularly well with that one. His Prieditis. Hots. So round the corner to Santi. Guggen. Kapitanovic into Gordon. First time in quite some minutes that Excelsior managed to string some passes together. Early on, it's looking a bit like one of those nights where Met Oval don't feel very charitable about sharing the ball. Carlo Brown, the goal scorer. He's going to get a very, very soft free kick there.
By the wall, you got to be careful. By the wall, you got to be careful. There was nothing there. It's the wall. Here it's fine. Not by the wall. Here it's fine, but not by the wall. Sorry. There's a wall. You call the owner. Unfortunately, that's how the field is. No, by the wall, no. Come here. Manny, the player's fault.
Very nice, so switches out to Sullivan. TJ Bernard. Oh, just ran out for the throw in that. Fafman. No one had pulled out onto that right side. Santi. Santi got a very comprehensive massage by the medic before the game for his quad. Sounded like he might have hurt it a few times. This is certainly an evening in which everyone's bodies is going to be stressed with these temperatures, and fortunately it doesn't look like it's getting much better the next 2 days. 100 tomorrow at a minimum, and looking like we're probably going to be there on Saturday too. Sullivan, he'll win the free kick. And that goal by Carlo Brown has Met Oval's 25th in the entire North East Conference. The 16th in the North. In case you're not familiar with how the league clubs have done it this season, in the North East they've split the North and South divisions, and 8 games have been played within each conference. So Met Oval have played 8 games against other North teams and then 2 against teams from the South. The North table is what determines who makes the playoffs in the North Conference, but then the overall conference standings will determine who hosts the final between North and South, as that's a horrible moment for Kofe. It was very fortunate that McHale was tracking back and covering to spare his blushes. And had Giving it all the way back to Fafman. Kasha. Posada. And something that Coach Berkeley has had to deal with this season is quite a lot of players coming in later due to the college season. He mentioned that certainly was a difficulty. It's a little bit loose there, Metover getting away with that. Difficulty for them in the opening weeks, but this is a squad full of returners from last year's national championship winning team. 13 of the named 18 are returners from last season. Here's one of them, Reynoso, to Bolty Saunders, the top scorer from last year. Bolty Saunders took a deflection, and Carlo Brown again couldn't quite get it out from his feet. He will get a corner kick for the hosts. It's been an imposing start by Met Oval. Alarm bells, I think, will be ringing for Excelsior at the moment. Manor will whip in this corner towards the far post. Headed back in by Reynoso, it's dangerous. Cleared out. Whereas Posada even straight at that back post. Manor once again towards Posada, headed clear by Kapetananovic, excuse me. Saunders. Bernard and Manor and Saunders and Manor blocked. Looked like McHale, who got the important touch, might have been Kapitanovic actually. Excelsior surviving. The diagonal ball by Holtz, forcing a clearance header by Van der Heide. Kapitanovic. Now Mehdi, Sofi, certainly someone Excelsior going to want to get on the ball a lot. Bonner has lost it, Manor going for the long range lob. And you know, Cafe was a little off his line. You could hear Coach Berkeley in the background saying he didn't mind that effort. Wasn't quite executed by Manor, but worth a try. Yusofi going down very easily there. Barone caught by Posada. Cafe's just going to go direct. And Haidar getting that, and it's right back again with Met Oval. I wish we had possession stats. You're just going to have to get them from my gut instinct, my basic estimate. But I would imagine it's been about 70-30 with the possession. Met Oval have strung together so many passes, perhaps even more. And it feels like Excelsior have had brief glimpses of the ball, but not more than that. Manor, the diminutive pair in midfield like Xavi and Iniesta. Both of them turn on a dime, very hard to get off the ball. Prietitis has pickpocketed Posada, who recovered very quickly. And Haidar keeping it from going out for a corner. Already spotting some argy-bargy in the penalty area. Kapitanovic on the outswinging corner kick. Swung towards the 6-yard box, headed out. And then cleared out by Zaretsas. Held in by Hots and flicked on. Mehdi Yusufi not too far away from that. Fafman, so relieved man to see that wasn't a touch by Yusufi. He wouldn't have had much time to react to the keeper. Mana. Posada into Saunders. His crossfield ball took a deflection, watched by Hots. Bonner couldn't keep possession. And Hadave, excuse me. Posada leaping into the header. Kasha. Hots will let it run out. That goal as well by Carlo Brown early on. It continues Metoval's remarkable run of never failing to score at home in the league for clubs. In fact, they've only failed to score once in their entire league for club history. Once in 20 games. And Haider. Mana. Brown zips it to Sullivan. Bernard. Collar Brown watched very closely by John Bonner. Mana looking on the diagonal and Reynoso trying to ghost in behind his opposite winger, Guggen. For a second time this evening, the first resulted in the goal, but the pass too heavy that time for Reynoso. That looked like it came off her hand, inadvertently for Giuseppe Barone. Mana. Saunders. And Hadar puts a big foot through it, and Kasha with a brave leap. Yosefi helping it on for Barone. That's a clever ball. Predatis, great first touch. Predatis saved by Fafman. Excelsior with a real moment of quality there. The front three all combining the lovely aerial combination, and Predatis' first touch was spot on. The finish straight at Fafman. Right before the hydration break, midway through the half, Excelsior showing their first real sign of life in the game. But it's been Met Oval mostly controlling things here. Carlo Brown scoring after 6 minutes. And also I remind you guys, whilst we have this break, we're going to have the final day for Met Oval and Excelsior in the regular season. That's going to be on the 11th of July. Met Oval will host Sousa. Excelsior will host Brooklyn City. Met Oval playing in the middle of the day, Excelsior in the evening. If Met Oval don't win today, then those results on the 11th will be decisive. Potentially, well, they will be decisive one way or the other in determining who gets that second playoff spot to meet Kingston in the League for Clubs North East semi-final. That chance for Excelsior right before the hydration break, certainly a reminder to Met Oval that even if they control all the possession, Excelsior have got that threat on the break. It's a very pacey, physical front three, with Predatis leading it, and also a lot of technical ability with Yusofi. But it's more brawn by Yusofi that time to begin that attack. Just leapt into the header with Posada, won the duel. Predatis. Barone dinks it out to Yusofi. Lost his footing. He'll go out for a Met Oval throw-in. Dusk setting here in Queens, New York. At this historic field, Met Oval celebrating over 100 years serving New York soccer and beyond. Such a rich history of developing talent, sending players to the professional level, as well as countless players to college. Basically the entire squad this evening, a collage of different colleges. Some local, some further afield. Reynoso at St John's at the moment. Carsphere is on the bench. Just finishing his freshman year at Queen's College and getting plenty of minutes there. Here's Reynoso, the assister of the first goal this evening. Posada. Sullivan. Patience in possession from the hosts. Reynoso. Man up, looking towards Saunders. Ball took a spin in the direction of Kofe. Kapitanovic. Guggen. And it's driven long towards Saunders, who's going to get on the end of that header. He's by himself at the moment. Santi with him. Saunders dinks it in. Bonner got something on it. And then Yusufi is marginally offside. You know what? That was very tight.
What about the other one, referee? What about the other one?
Looked to me like Sada was a little deep behind that line, but the linesman was well lined up with it, perhaps. Mehdi's still slightly off. Sullivan. There's Kasha. Mana. Balti Saunders has been afforded a bit of space. Tried to get the Meg on Kapitanovic. Wasn't able to pull it off. Reynoso intercepted by Kapitanovic, and he's found Prieditis in the area. Prieditis onto his right foot! That was not far away at all. Bending towards that top corner, didn't quite bend enough. Beautifully shaped effort. And the second time the Latvian has threatened in the space of about 5 minutes of playing time. Mana around the corner to Saunders, good step initially by the centre back Santi, but then he was too vigorous afterwards. Mana. And Hader does well to find Posada. Sullivan. Kasha. Saunders. Reynoso can take on Guggen here. Nelson Reynoso down to the byline, drilled it into the hands of Kofei. And guys, reminder, today's broadcast is sponsored by Umbro. You can head to Umbro Team to start designing your team kit for now. Produced by Umbro, designed and worn by you. Kasha. TJ Bernard. Unable to find Carlo Brown. He hasn't seen too much of the ball other than his well-taken finish. Kasha. And Haday. Yusufi around the corner. Prieditis turned into Haday. Posada will let it run out. What might give Excelsior some encouragement is Met Oval have not kept a clean sheet in their last 4 games. Been quite leaky in defence, truth be told. In recent times at least, in those 4 games, they've conceded 9. Guggen going into the book for leaning into that tackle with his elbow, the aerial tackle. Sullivan does want to keep that in. Here's Bernard. And Sullivan. Manor will pick up the loose ball, and he's going to invite Bernard forwards. Too much on it. But you know what? It was actually a Excelsior foot that put that over the end line. It's going to be another corner kick for Met Oval. Another chance for Manor to whip in the delivery. Swung in, punched out by the keeper. Kofe did well. He's under a lot of pressure there, dueling with Van der Hader, and then the keeper has held it out to Mehdi Youssoufi. He's going to have to try and do it by himself here. So Retzer with the first tackle, Posada and Youssoufi were dueling for it afterwards. And Youssoufi, I think, has done very well out of that to get himself a free kick. Had 3 defenders on him. Right, it looks like there's a talking to with the bench and someone among Excelsior staff. Kapitanovic, again the set piece take up. Tried to fire that onto the frame. They'll get another go at it, helped on by Santi, and Fafman lets that go out. Fafman goes long. Big shout and header by McHale. Reynoso down the channel. Saunders sends it diagonal towards Bernard. Good tracking back by Hotz, and got some help from his keeper, Kofe, who was readily available. Posada's got that wrong. Prieditis couldn't capitalise. Hasn't quite been as fluid from Met Oval since the hydration break. First 22 odd minutes. They're at the absolute best. Almost non-stop passing. And Excelsior just chasing that ball back and forth. Sent down the channel. Prieditis has got a bit of time here. Super recovery tackle by Posada. Corner kick for Excelsior. Outswinger again towards the 6-yard box, and that was a really dangerous moment. Prieditis got something on it, but he was leaning back, tussling with his marker, and he couldn't keep his balance and redirect onto frame. Lovely ball in by Kapitanovic. Posada. Give and go with Bernard. He overran it. Gordon couldn't find Kapitanovic. Saunders has been given lots of license to roam around the field. He finds Nelson Reynoso. Saunders on the overlap. Reynoso returns it to him. Saunders teases it up, but didn't get the direction on the cross to go straight out for a goal kick. Inside the final 5 minutes of the first half. Presumably we will get at least 2 or 3 minutes of extra time with the water break. Sophie flicks it on. It's Gordon! Into the side netting. Sophie again causing all sorts of issues. Not usually one for the flick-ons, but it's done it twice really well in this first half and helped Gordon on, who caught that with a lot of venom. Might have clipped the outside of the near post. Warning signs for Met Oval. Excelsior have racked up a couple of chances around the hydration break. Saunders as a player down at John Bonner. Down for Excelsior. I think perhaps may have made a bit of a meal of that. He's sitting up now. Merkel fires it forward, Prieditis. And I'm sure Excelsior have taken note at how the aerial ball forwards with the flick-ons have caused some trouble for this Met Oval backline on a few occasions now. It's hard to play Met Oval at their own possession style game and win. But the more direct approach may prove fruitful for Excelsior. It's threatened to, certainly. Saunders. Kasha. Poor pass by Zaretsa. Holtz. And that will be a foul. Posada held down by Predatis and made sure to express his joy at winning that duel. Posada. Sullivan. Saunders. Seeing a lot of the ball. Polty Saunders. Posada. Sullivan. Bernard. Flicked on and then cleared out by Guggen. Bit of indecision among the back three again from Met Oval. It's not a typical back three they've had this year. Leaf Clubs doesn't show the lineups on the website, so not 100% sure, but this may be the first time this back three is played together. And not the first time they've let a ball bounce among them. Sullivan. Bernard across the 6-yard box, so that was the idea at least. Straight down the gullet of Kofi. And had a meet in the header. Manor. Bernard. Crossfield, lovely ball. Saunders brings it down. He's offside. So, referee saying 2 minutes of stoppage time, of which we've already had one. And Hadate with that first header, it's going to be a Met Oval thrown right on the half time. Oh, down the line. Kasha charging like a raging bull. Like he hasn't just been playing at 90 degrees for the last 45 minutes. Sullivan may have yielded a chance here for Met Oval late in this first half. They've gone on overload. Chris Sullivan. Oh, he's overran it. Needed to release that ball. And the referee is coming back here to give a booking. I think to Gordon there. No idea what for. Might have said something. But that was a really good chance on the overload for Met Oval. They had a 5-on-3. Sullivan got caught in two minds. That is probably it for the first half. It is. Met Oval striking early through Carlo Brown, capitalising on the square ball by Reynoso. Met Oval have had most of the ball and were certainly the better team in the first 23 minutes or so, but Excelsior coming into the game definitely had some good chances. The Met Oval defence that hasn't had a shutout in 4 games, looking a bit vulnerable. Excelsior will certainly have plenty of hope they can turn this around in the second half, and that is what they need to do to flip this playoff race later on. At the moment, Met Oval will secure their ticket to meet Kingston in the League for Clubs North East semi-final. Do not go now, guys. We'll be back shortly with the second half.
From soccer fields across the USA to the legendary stadiums of Spain and Portugal, for 40 years, Petrobax has been the go-to expert for group travel to Spain and Portugal. We organize soccer group trips from start to finish. Flights, hotels, transportation, and guided tours, all perfectly coordinated by our experienced team. Your trip can include attending La Liga and Portuguese Primeira Liga games, matches against local teams, pro training sessions, and even tournaments. As true experts in Spain and Portugal, we'll ensure you also experience the rich history, vibrant culture, and incredible food these countries are famous for. Celebrating 40 years of crafting unforgettable journeys to Spain and Portugal. Petrobax, your team, your passion, your trip to Spain and Portugal starts here.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University and I play forward. The Salt Air Case helps block odor from my cleats when I'm driving in my car or when I'm keeping my cleats inside my house so I don't have to worry about it stinking up my room. It helps me keep track of my cleats and my shin guards so I know that they're together and I don't have to worry about tracking them down or losing them or stressing out about where they are. I would definitely rock this, walking to the games, walking around to my trainings. And it's super helpful for travel. When I travel in the airport to go to away games, it's not going to stink up my backpack or stink up the plane where I'm sitting. Magnetic strip on the top is super easy to open to take my cleats out and to put my cleats back in. I think it's an essential part of my outfit for soccer and it helps keep all my stuff organized and stink-free.
A quality highlight reel is crucial for college and pro recruitment. A lot of services offer generic solutions, but at Game & Frame we know every player is unique and needs a personalised approach to win over coaches. Our process is simple. We work with any footage, and if you need help finding your best plays, we'll review games for you. Once we've finished, you'll have a reel you can upload to any recruitment platform. We've helped hundreds of players get the attention they deserve, including placements in Division 1 programs. Scan the QR code or email us for a free consultation and start the journey to maximize your recruitment potential. Hello and welcome back to the Oval. Excelsior making a triple substitution at half-time. Get into that shortly. Met Oval huddling. And Met Oval also have made a change. Bagnato, another of the championship winning team from last year, has come on for Posada. And Zarezza has gone back to left centre-back. Bagnato on right centre-back. He's just finished his college career, Bagnato. And was in the Leafer Club's North East Team of the Year last year. And for Excelsior, Guggen has come off. Sharek is on for him. And the left wing. Holtz is off Valdez. Or Valdez even, excuse me. Valdez on the score sheet on the weekend, almost immediately after coming off the bench against Kingston. And Perelman has come on for Kofei in goal. Excelsior only saw brief spells of the ball in that first half, but once they switched to a more direct style in the second half of the first half, they really began to perturb Met Oval's back line. Saunders, well cut out that by the substitute Sarek. And Haider reading the danger well and surging forwards, still with it. The centre-back, who went for the glorious long-range effort, a couple of feet wide, caught it decently. Good burst forwards though by Haider. Yusofi. Just seen the free kick. Excelsior haven't managed to get him in many of the positions where he really thrives. Almedi, Yusofi, 1v1s out wide. One of the best 1v1 dribblers at this level, incredibly unpredictable. So Retz's held on to that a fraction too long, recovered quickly. Mikhail down the channel. Prioritis had a couple of decent chances in that first half. Valdez into Kapitanovic. Gordon tried to, thread that into Yusofi. Zaretzas. Kasha, Bernard. Really sharp play by Met Oval. The goal scorer Brown. A lot of Excelsior players taken out of the game by that combination. Carlo Brown gets it back from Saunders and totally hit the strike. That would have been a beautiful goal by Met Oval. Really well worked up. And the flag going up eventually. Sullivan. Manna. Carlo Brown. And Sullivan. They're doubling up on him, giving him back to the left centre-back, Zarezza. Manna. Carlo Brown. Sullivan tried to turn, was cut out by Bonner, and then that's a take no prisoners tackle by Giuseppe Barone. Referee judging all ball. And Zaretsa gingerly back to his feet. Here's Balti Saunders. Very high tempo start to the half. Sullivan took a deflection, spilled by the substitute goalkeeper Perelman, who had to get up to speed very quickly with that stinging strike, but recovered quickly. Metovo certainly started the first half well. They made a good start to this second. Perelman hacks it clear. And had shepherds it back to Fafman. Kasha. And had his intentions read by McHale. Barone stopped from turning by Kasha. Sharek. Coach Barklow urging his Metovo players higher with their line. With the attacking talent of this front line of Excelsior, hard to imagine they won't score at some point. Here's one of them, Yusofi coming inside. Prieditis, wild effort. Just wouldn't set down for Yusofi in the first. And then it ran away from Prieditis as he tried to strike on the turn. He retrieved it, but the angle had gone, and Metovo feeling a bit aggrieved. A corner kick was given there, and I think they have a good case there. Didn't see any contact on the Prieditis strike. Driven in towards the far post and queuing up, and Excelsior have hit the post. It's a couple of bodies at that far post. I think it was either Santi or Prieditis who met the corner kick, which was superbly bent into that far post. Metovo so fortunate. Kapitanovic. John Bonner. Big shout by Fafman, an easy gather. But if that doesn't just illustrate the point that Metovo really need to get themselves a second goal. It's not easy to shut out this Excelsior team. They have not failed to score this season in the league for clubs. And clearing it, Colin Brown lets it run out, took a deflection. Colin Brown. John Bonner strong. McHale clears. Manor. He's done really well there, Manor. And gets it back again. The canny centre midfielder. And Sullivan Clever flick. Bernard will keep it in. He'll win a throw for the host right by the corner flag. Loose by Colin Brown, wasteful from him, and Excelsior will get the goal kick. Flicked on by Barone. Prieditist on the prowl. Zaretsa kept his head. Reynoso spinning one around a third, and he's going to win the free kick. Might have a little bit of a bruise there tomorrow. Reynoso, some considerable contact. And Haddad, well, excuse me, there was Bagnat on that far side, driving it forward. So here's Zaretsa, just about able to hold on to possession. That was a late tackle by Barone. Won it back fairly the second time though. And here's Yusufi. Splendid tackle by Saunders. And a great spin and switch as well. Sullivan. Bernard. Kasha. Got the knock on the ankle, and Gordon is going to add his name to the referee's book. Excelsior practically closing down that free kick. One back though by Zaretsa. Sullivan. Let's give it a go with Kasha. And I think we might have some insight into why Posada went off half time. He's getting a concussion check right now. With the medic. Just following the finger. Saunders trying to help it on. Perelman gathering. Prieditist. Second ball falls to the goalkeeper. Fafman. Sullivan returns it to Manna. Colin Brown hadn't dropped for that. Santi fires it up. Gordon helps it on. Almedi Yusufi coming into the area. Yusufi. Bagnato stayed with him step for step. At the expense of another corner kick. And another chance for Kapetanovic to send in a delivery. The last corner kick he whipped in resulted in the woodwork being hit. Towards the near post, low. Zaretsa held firm at that front post. Reynoso will concede the free kick there. Swung in, punched out by Fafman, had a lot of bodies charging at him. Yusufi going for the acrobatic. Predators pulled that off against Metova in the last meeting. And then another free kick's going to be conceded, and I think the referee might dish out another yellow here. Looks like he's got the card in hand. It's going to be Mana. I think he's got the yellow in his hand. Might just be his whistle, actually, a yellow whistle. Something. What's wrong with Mana? He's actually bleeding in that impact. Must have got a knock to the head. I think that might be the final action for Mana. Matthew Iriarte is about to come on. Iriarte just finishing his third season at Seston Hall. Well, excuse me, his third season at Marquette. Played 43 games and is going to be an incoming grad student at Seton Hall. Iriarte on for Mana. This isn't comfortable for Metova right now. Very slender lead, and Excelsior continuing to pepper their penalty area with these set-piece opportunities. Swinging towards the far post, a player went down, and there was a little bit of back and forth shirt tugging. I'm not sure. It was not just an even bit of fouling by each player. Gordon going down, not huge appeals from his teammates. Iriarte with his first touch. Barely skipped a beat, sprays it out to TJ Bernard. Kapitanovic works it out wide to Sharek. Kasha. Reynoso. Sullivan and Bonner shoulder to shoulder. The flag up against Sullivan in any case. Swung up by John Bonner towards Predators, who can turn. Could not find Gordon. About 25 minutes remaining in this second half. Imagine we'll have a hydration break shortly. Bernard has got cramp. John Bonner couldn't find a teammate with his cross. But at the moment, Metova securing their spot in the playoffs to meet Kingston, and that will effectively end regular season in the North Conference at least. Even So both sides will play again. It'll be meaningless. But if Excelsior can draw level, it will go to the final day, albeit with Metovo in control. If Excelsior can turn this game around, then the entire pendulum swings in their favour, because they play bottom of the table Brooklyn City in the final day, and winning that would guarantee them place in the playoffs. So it's nervy moment certainly for Metovo. Hooks back in by Valdez. A lot required of Barone with his header. More activity on Coach Berklow's bench. It looks like Alex Massimo, maybe Morania is about to come on. One of the goal scorers for Metovo on the weekend. 6 different goal scorers of their 7 goals against Rio Central. Reynoso got a brace. John Lewis scored a beautiful goal. Balti Saunders scored. Chris Sullivan, Andy Kasha and Morania. They have contact off the ball, but play continues. Reynoso not particularly happy. The whistle didn't blow for him.
Let's go, boys, come on. Keep fucking working. No?
Massimo Morania. He's going to, I think, replace TJ Bernard here. You can see cramping. Well, actually, going to wait to the next interval. John Lewis has also been summoned by Coach Berklow, so I imagine we'll see him introduced shortly. One back by John Bonner. A couple of options to aim for. Drifts it towards the far post. Gordon straight into the hands of Pfaffman. Metovo have stopped playing these last few minutes. And Excelsior have kept coming back at them, and it's lost again by Andy Kasha. Fortunate not to make contact to give away their free kick. The referee's going to play advantage. Jurek. Santi. It's actually, I think, Justin Blanco is going to come on, not John Lewis. Sprayed out wide. Valdez with Bernard. Valdez cuts onto his right foot, drills it across. And Haider was there to clear it, and Bernard helped it out. Corner kick. Excelsior knocking on the door. Have been for a little while. Saunders is going to come off, and actually the referee's going to take this opportunity to do the water break as we're midway through the half. It's tense. Excelsior, I think, can sense a goal is coming with it. The momentum of the game. Coach Berklow certainly could hear him talking to his substitutes, imploring them to help the team keep the ball more. Oval have lost their way last 10-15 minutes. A reminder, we'll have both Metovo and Excelsior in action in their final regular season games on the 11th. And that will be their next game after tonight for both teams. They'll get 4th of July weekend off, so Metovo hosting Susat midday back here at the Oval, and then Excelsior will know if they still have a chance to make the playoffs and what they need to do when they face bottom of the table, Brooklyn City at St. John's at 7:30 p.m. Both those games live on Gamer Frame YouTube.
How much time do you add on after the water?
The water 2 plus 2 the injury. 2 plus 2. Yeah. So the injury is 2 and this 2.
Yeah, got it. Thank you. Hey, we have time, boys. We have time. Let's go.
Kasha replaced by Blanco. Right out of this hydration break, Metova are going to have to defend Valdez's in-swinging corner. Big shout and a really good punch by Fafman, sent back into the mixer. Couldn't work its way through the bodies. Valdez was looking for a free kick, nothing doing. Not really dealt with there by Sharek. It's a little awkward, the bounce. That's a really poor pass by Sullivan. And here comes Excelsior again. And that was a bit of contact from behind by Reynoso on Barone. Referee not seeing it. As soon as Sullivan lost that ball, Coach Burklow did summon Jean-Louis to come on. I think already plenty of heavy legs out there, understandably, again, with the temperatures that everyone's been playing at. Blanco. What Metova would do for a second ball, but that was not the right pass by the substitute, Blanco. Good ball. Barone. Yusofi. 3 blue shirts staying for in the area. Yusofi cross took a deflection, and it's going to be another corner kick for Excelsior, who must be heading towards double digits on corners now. Justin Jean-Louis is going to replace Chris Sullivan. Wonderful technician, Jean-Louis, and very creative, full of flair with the footwork. But his first action here is going to be defending this corner kick. Swung in towards the far post, headed back onto the frame, tipped over the crossbar by Fafman. That was a free header back there for Mehdi Yusufi, who might have done better with that. Didn't connect particularly well with the header. Headed it a little early down on the ground. Took a lot of the pace out of the ball. This time it's low towards the near post. And Metova will come breathing again. It'll be a goal kick. Pagnato into Iriarte. Jean-Louis finds Colo Brown. Clever header by him. Bernhard back to Blanco. Can Metova take some of the heat out of this spell for Excelsior? Or do more? Carlo Brown. Zaretsa. Lost too much of Iriarte with that pass. Gordon helps it on. Yusofi rides the first tackle. No, he's asking too much of his overlapping forward. Gordon. Fafman putting that up into orbit. One back, that was, thought for a second it'd been one back. Yusofi took a bit of a gamble with that pass inside. Predatis cut out by Iriarte, and that was not a great ball by Reynoso. Quarter of an hour remaining, and been told already the referee expects we're going to have 4 minutes minimum, but again, lots more time for that stoppage time to grow. John Bonner Dinks it up towards Prieditis. The second ball falls to Barone, and that was a really soft free kick. I think Zaretse got away with that one. Pagnato drives it crossfield. Fantastic ball to TJ Bernard. Blanco. Iriarte. Pagnato got fortunate. Iriarte's in a bit of trouble, but as he so often does, able to solve the issue. Reynoso, lovely ball. Jean-Louis wasn't too far away from taking that down in the penalty area. That's certainly going to be a free kick. Mikhail. Sharek, that's a good header. Yusofi. Reynoso with a fantastic tackle. It's going to be yet another corner though for Excelsior, and more nervy moments for Metovo's backline. The quality of the delivery from Kipetanovic has generally been very high. Swinging it under that crossbar. Fafman has had to make a few emergency punches with a lot of bodies running at him. He swung in towards the far post this time, headed back. But no one able to meet Santi's header. Excelsior will count themselves unfortunate not to have scored, of course hitting the post very early in the second half, and they had a decent bunch of other chances. Sharek. Prieditis. Not a great pass by Gordon. Iriarte. 360 vision. Zaressa. Jean-Louis. They win the throw deep inside Excelsior's half. Iriarte. Jean-Louis can keep it. Sharek drives it forwards towards Prieditis. And had read the intentions. Metovo have seen a bit more of the ball last few minutes. It's all about game management for the defending national champions. More time they have in the ball, it's less Excelsior can threaten, the more momentum is taken out from the visitors. But they've won it back here. Kapitanovic. Valdez, pass two. Valdez going down, but wasn't looking for a penalty, just lost his footing. He certainly injected energy on the right side. Iriarte surging forwards. Couldn't thread it to Morenia. Mikhail. Collar Brown. Bernard. Iriarte. Mahedi just struggling a little, and I think he's going to need a change here. Mehdi Yusofi. Hasn't quite been his night this evening. He's had moments of threat, but I'd say for the large part, Metovo will have kept him quiet down that left side. Hopefully nothing too serious for him. Keenan Garvey will replace him. Carlos Villa, fan favourite here at Met Oval, replacing TJ Bernard. Coming off his freshman year with Queen's College, Villa started 20 games. Great personality as well, great leader. Wore the armband for most of last season for Met Oval and hoisted the trophy. Uriarte, Morenia. Brown helps it on to Carlos with his first touch. Uriarte, Solomon between the defenders, gets it back from Morenia. And again, good interchange between them. Villa towards the near post. Jean-Louis a step behind it. John Bonner. Bagnato judged to have got the ball. Gordon, I think, felt like he came through the back of him. Gordon still down.
Are you serious? Yeah, Nato. You're the guy for the ball. I'm sorry. No, you were wrong.
Gordon expressive with his displeasure. The referee talking to Excelsior's captain, Giuseppe Barone.
Hey, first and second, let's go. Play the game, bro.
Excelsior, you can bet, will be keeping a very close eye on the stoppage time that's hoisted. When they were hosting Met Oval at St John's a few weeks ago, the referee took, and I'm not exaggerating, he probably took 4 minutes to talk to one player. It was extraordinary. Different referee to what we've got today. And I think 2 or 3 minutes was added on stoppage time. It was remarkable. Probably should have been 6 or 7 minutes. A lot of these final moments here about endurance, again with the heat factor. It's dropped to about 90 degrees now, started at around 100. Garvey. Swung out to Sharek. Into the mixer. And had got under that. Valdez. John Bonner. There's lots of bodies in there. Giuseppe Barone, a couple of players down in a white shirt towards the far post. Oh, that was not far away at all for Brieditis, who threw everything at that ball. But couldn't get a decisive touch. There's 2 players cramping there for Met Oval. Bagnato, actually, one of them the sub, and TJ Bernard too. That was not ideal for Met Oval at all. Ball zipping around the penalty area with 2 of their 3 back line incapacitated, but they've survived again. They already lost Posada in the first half, hit a concussion. And had think he's going to try and soldier on here. TJ Bernhard, another player, they might shift into that back line, has already come off. He had just about used up his gas tank again with all the heat. Carlos Villa is a makeshift left centre back at the moment. And Ade back on, walking wounded. Was down for a long time with a trainer with that cramp. Coasted over the top by Gordon. And Ade seemed recovered there. Sharek. Moreno cutting it out, lost by Jean-Louis. Bona. Out from the corner by Kapitanovic. Excelsior have been much more confident on the ball in the second half. Driven forwards, comes towards the far post, back into the mixer. Fired at Fafman, who makes the save. It's the substitute who's just come on. Timothy DeMay, who very nearly scored with his first touch. Huge let-off once again for Metovo, who are hanging on for dear life. Here come Excelsior again. Valdez, too much on it for DeMay. Reynoso wasn't sure was behind him and he puts it out for a corner kick. The nerves are jangling. That ball struck straight at Fafman. That distance either side of him surely would have been a late equaliser for Excelsior, who again really need to win tonight to flip this playoff race. A point where at least keep it alive going into the final day. Kapitanovic swings it in. Missed by DeMay. Goes out for a throw-in for Metovo. I would imagine at this point, with that recent injury break for Van Dijk, we are looking at probably 6 minutes, I would imagine, minimum of stoppage time. It's been an extra bite to Excelsior. They've won most of the 50-50s, where in that first half they lost most of them. But look at that for a combative jump by Zaretsa, and the referee is rightfully going to blow the whistle just to give a head check. Zaretsa won the ball, but there was a bit of a domino effect and Gordon got a knock on the head. So front pair for Excelsior now by the looks of things. They might have actually brought off Predatis in the substitution. Has made a lot of changes made in the last minute or two. Just try and get a look shortly. Fafman with a big shout and gathering. So yes, it looks like Predatis has been replaced. And Santi is a makeshift centre forwards for Excelsior to give them more height up there. And Haida winning the aerial duel with Santi. Time clicking for Excelsior. Their inaugural season in the league for clubs. It looks as if the defending national champions are going to pip them to their last playoff spot from the North Conference and join Kingston, who've already won the division. Good footwork by Villa. Moreno, a goal now would be worth its weight in gold for Metovo and for all of their fans' nerves. And back to Fafman. drives it forwards. Iriarte wins the loose ball. Morenia, there's an overload on the right side, and it's Jean-Louis looking to pounce on it. His back heel didn't find Morenia. 5 minutes is the number for stoppage time. Bagnato holding strong at the front post. Excelsior with the throw-in deep in Metoval's half. Held in, headed out by Jean-Louis.
I don't have an answer for you.
Pumped back up, brought down by DeMay. The shot taken by Gordon took a deflection. Corner kick for Excelsior. A playoff spot on the line here, towards the near post. Valdez took a deflection, once again a corner on that far side. I think we're probably at 10 on that far side now. Surely one of these Kapitanovic's deliveries has to be capitalised on. Swung in towards the far post, queuing up Fafman with a huge hand. And Morenia looks for Iriarte, and Metoval looked to break. Lovely pass by Iriarte. Carlos Villa could seal it here. Justin Blanco delayed. And a long busting run back by Valdez, cut out the angle. Excelsior still alive. They've got 3 minutes left. Valdez couldn't find feet. Driven in by Kapitanovic. Reynoso will just run this forwards, and he's still got lots of running. Nelson Reynoso, that's brilliant. Morenia at the far post. Here's Massimo Morenia! Hit the net, the wrong side of it. Metoval might just live to rue that. Excelsior don't have much time though to make that a reality. Their season hanging by a thread. And that was not a good pass by Bonnet. And Kapitanovic threw everything to keep it in. Morenia couldn't hold it up. Gordon. DeMay, who will look back at regret with his miss. And Fafman can take time off the clock here. Precious seconds. A little over a minute remaining here. Metoval so close to returning to the postseason, where they can defend their national title. Their first trip will be upstate to take on Kingston. Unless helped on is going to fall to Fafman again. And that is probably that. Iriarte. Metoval just need to hold on to the ball these final few seconds. Morenia. Bit of miscommunication between Perelman and McHale. Now or never for Excelsior. But Garvey, I think, thought Sharek was running forwards onto that. He wasn't. Excelsior can certainly take lots of positives from this inaugural season and from this performance tonight. They, I think, on balance, the second half are very unfortunate not to be coming away with a point. They've had the chances, a bit of bad luck with woodwork denying them, a few decent stops by Fafman and some last-ditch defending. But they've gone toe-to-toe in the second half with the national champions, giving them a good run for their money, but it's not enough. Met Oval secured their spot in the playoffs. They will head upstate to face Kingston in about 2 weeks. For Excelsior, they have one game remaining in regular season, but nothing to play for. They are officially out of the playoff hunt. It's Kingston and Met Oval who are over the line. Met Oval excellent in the first 30 minutes or so. Deservedly got the goal. But Excelsior grew into the game after that and certainly were on top in that second half. But champions always find a way, and Met Oval have done so. Do not go now, guys. We'll be back shortly with post-match reaction from Met Oval.
From soccer fields across the USA to the legendary stadiums of Spain and Portugal, for 40 years, Petrobax has been the go-to expert for group travel to Spain and Portugal. We organize soccer group trips from start to finish, flights, hotels, transportation, and guided tours, all perfectly coordinated by our experienced team. Your trip can include attending La Liga and Portuguese Primeira Liga games, matches against local teams, pro training sessions, and even tournaments. As true experts in Spain and Portugal, we'll ensure you also experience the rich history, vibrant culture, and incredible food these countries are famous for. Celebrating 40 years of crafting unforgettable journeys to Spain and Portugal. Petrobax, your team, your passion, your trip to Spain and Portugal starts here.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University and I play forward. The salt air case helps block odor from my cleats when I'm driving in my car or when I'm keeping my cleats inside my house, so I don't have to worry about it stinking up my room. It helps me keep track of my cleats and my shin guards so I know that they're together and I don't have to worry about tracking them down or losing them or stressing out about where they are. I would definitely rock this, walking to the games, walking around to my trainings. And it's super helpful for travel. When I travel in the airport to go to away games, it's not going to stink up my backpack or stink up the plane where I'm sitting. Magnetic strip on the top is super easy to open to take my cleats out and to put my cleats back in. I think it's an essential part of my outfit for soccer and helps keep all my stuff organized and stink-free.
A quality highlight reel is crucial for college and pro recruitment. A lot of services offer generic solutions, but at Game & Frame we know every player is unique and needs a personalised approach to win over coaches. Our process is simple. We work with any footage, and if you need help finding your best plays, we'll review games for you. Once we've finished, you'll have a reel you can upload to any recruitment platform. We've helped hundreds of players get the attention they deserve, including placements in Division 1 programs. Scan the QR code or email us for a free consultation and start the journey to maximize your recruitment potential. Hey guys, I'm here with the goalkeeper Max Fafman and the defender Misha Zaretsa. Max, you guys kept the clean sheet, but that was hard fought, wasn't it? Some nervy moments in the second half. You did some titanic punches with a lot of bodies coming at you. How difficult was that win today?
Yeah, I mean, the boys definitely fought hard today. It was great to get the clean sheet here at home. I thought the defenders definitely put in a shift. And at the end of the day, like, everyone did their job. Everyone worked hard today. And I did as well. I did my part. So, yeah, just happy to get the 3 points and get a clean sheet here as well.
Misha, you guys had a fantastic start. First 30 minutes, really playing your game, great passing. Did that feel like some of the best football you've played so far this season?
Every time we step on the field, we play our best football. But honestly, we knew it was going to be a hard game. We knew we had to come out with the win here. They didn't make it easy. You know, the first half, they gave us time, they gave us space. Yeah, everything looked clean and beautiful. But most importantly, we came out the second half. We might not have played our style, but we saw the win out. We did what we had to do, and, you know, on to the next game now.
Yeah. Max, they had so many corners in that second half, and a lot of them swinging in under the crossbar with a lot of bodies charging at you. You know, and they were a big team, tall players. How difficult were those deliveries? And I mean, you made some fantastic punches in there too.
Yeah, those are definitely tough. Med Oval is definitely like a tight field, so those corners come in quick. And I think I gotta just read the ball. I timed some of them pretty well. I don't know. I think I just did my part there, and we do that in training as well. We practice crosses under pressure, so it goes back to training and doing the reps in training. So, yeah.
Now, you guys, I've obviously got one more game against Sousa in the regular season, which I know you're going to look forward to. It's always a good rivalry game. You guys want to get them back for the defeat they gave you earlier. And then it's going to be on to Kingston. How much are you looking forward to that, Misha? Because you had one close game to them. I know you're a little light when you travelled up to them before, but you're going to get the opportunity to get some payback.
Yeah, we think they have a crown on their head right now after beating us 4-0. That wasn't a good performance for us, 4-1. They know that we're our quality. We know that we're a better team, and, you know, we're licking our lips to get back there and show them who Med Oval is.
Fantastic. Well, guys, we'll see you again in about 10 days. Enjoy 4th of July weekend. I hope you guys can get cool. Great F out there, really, honestly, very impressive. And yeah, we'll see you soon. Well done, guys. Well played. And we're going to have the head coach, John Berkler, as well. John, we've just been sweating on the touchline, all of us. It's just so hot. Yeah. How much did that play into your tactical decisions today with just the conditions?
So it was interesting pre-game because of the way we like to press, and really trying to figure out how much we could go and do that. But I think ultimately for us, like, we can press if we have the ball. So if we have the ball the majority of the time, then pressing isn't such an issue. So I think that was kind of the main thought process, was that we needed to have the ball, and we needed to have the ball a while, which we didn't always do the best, particularly in the second half. But it was just a little bit of an understanding that you're not going to score from every attack, so sometimes it's about how we manage the game. We manage the game with the ball and limit transitions by allowing guys to get in positions to deal with the transition when it occurs. So that was kind of the main talking point to help us deal with the heat. But of course, I mean, it's going to drain you, and I think you saw that in the second half when you just some of the decision making goes and stuff like that. So
absolutely. That second half, Excelsior, you know, I think figured out the direct play was pretty effective for them. They have a lot of physical players. They're putting in some really dangerous set-piece deliveries. How pleased were you with the resilience of your backline and the whole team back there?
No, of course. I mean, for me, that's the one thing that we wanted to avoid, was get in a situation like that. But of course, they needed to win the game to progress. So we knew they were going to have to do something, right? So for us to adapt and to survive, and I mean, I told the back three, I mean, the amount of duels the back three won was outrageous. So super pleased and proud of them, super pleased and proud of the group to win in maybe a different way and survive and fight and find a way to make sure we get 3 points. Because as much as we have a game model and a way we want to play, ultimately it's about 3 points. And so with the older guys here really emphasizing that at the end of the day, if it's not 3 points, but we played great soccer, it's irrelevant. It's got to be 3 points, and the boys did really well today to find a way to make sure that happened.
I know you've had to deal with a lot of rotation this season, players coming in later. Some of the players come back with little knocks from the college season. But tonight, you know, just looking at your roster, I think it was maybe the most players who've returned from last season in the squad this evening. And that first 30 minutes in particular really looked back to your absolute best. Were you really pleased with how you guys started?
The start was amazing. The first goal is, I mean, that's a Met-Oval goal if you're ever in. Obviously, having Balti back, who got back from a meniscus injury, to some degree, that a little bit lucky for us. Otherwise, he'd probably be at the professional level. He was meant to go into Houston Dynamo before the injury. So to get him back with us and us help him get back to shape and hopefully be able to progress into the pro game is obviously huge because of the quality he brings. Matt Iriarty getting the last 30, who's been dealing with a hamstring from the college season. So, I mean, his quality is outrageous. So to have two guys like that we're adding and at the end of the season really is huge for the group. And yeah, you can see, like, when we get some of that consistency, you can see guys are familiar, guys understand how it is we want to play, and it's taken us a little bit longer to get there this year. But in the end, job done, we're in playoffs, and now we go compete.
Next two games are both going to be interesting. Obviously, nothing to play for on paper for Sousa, but it's Sousa. There's the rivalry factor there. They beat you the last meeting, and then you're going to go on the trip to Kingston West, all on the line, and you know that's going to be a difficult trip. So, you know, what's really going to be the focus with that Sousa game? Are you going to be looking to try and build momentum, or is it going to be resting players? You know, how are you going to approach that?
So, I mean, so for us, the way we're approaching it is if we beat Sousa and then we beat Stockade, then we host the final. But we need to beat Sousa to be able to put ourselves in a position to host the final. So we're going into that game to win. We're going into that game, I think, to build some momentum. I think that's really important for us, particularly with the way we want to play, to build that momentum and build that consistency in terms of who guys are playing with. So we're definitely going in that as a mindset. And honestly, like, I love going to Kingston. They have an amazing crowd. There'll be 1,000+ people there. It's noisy. It feels like a proper high-level game. So excited to go up there and hopefully get some revenge after a poor performance, a few weeks ago, and hopefully be coming back here to win a championship in the following days after.
Fantastic. Well, Coach, congratulations on making the playoffs once again.
Thanks.
Hope you get some rest and rejuvenation in the next few days. It's definitely. I know you're out of camp all day, right, on the field.
Yeah, camp all day. So I'm shot. I got to come back tomorrow morning though. So.
All right, we'd love to say it's going to get cooler tomorrow, but I'd be lying.
It gets worse.
Yeah.
So.
All right, we'll get some rest, Coach. Good seeing you, and we'll see you in 10 days. Take care. Thanks, John. All right, well, that just about does it for us here at the Oval. Met Oval are going to return to the postseason once again to defend their League for Clubs national title. A big thank you to Met Oval for bringing us down here. Once again, thank you to Joshua Ajokwu for doing great work behind the camera. Thanks for the players putting on a great effort and show in extremely difficult conditions. It was a really good tempo the whole night. But most importantly, thanks you to all of you for watching, making time in the World Cup schedule to tune in to this one as well. This is Josh Pratt signing off from the Oval. Take care, everyone.